All right, so we officially have a way to lose. I'm doing quotes now. It would be nice if we had a way to win. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do next. So first, the way I'm just gonna have it set up is that there'll just be a door like right here that you walk through, and then you win the game. Okay, woo, super exciting. So we're just gonna do the setup of the scene, and then we'll write the script. It's actually pretty simple. So let's just go ahead and in this scene we'll create a 2D object, a sprite. Oh, they can do it right from here. I didn't see this before. We'll do a square. And then from there, oh, neato. So normally we have to hook up the other thing, but apparently it already has it built into it. So we'll just continue to use this one. So if you're using 2020, there you go. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this over here. And then I'm just going to scale a little bit bigger and a little bit taller. And we'll move it up. Okay. And we're going to pretend like this is a door. Let's get a little bit closer. And let's just go ahead and change the color. I'm just going to make it like yellow. I probably should make it more like brown, like that. That's our door. Okay, so we got to get to the door, and then we win. And let's just go ahead and rename it, and we'll call it door. It's a great name. Okay. Last thing this thing needs is going to be a trigger. So we'll just do a physics 2D, box collider 2D, and make a trigger. Okay, and I'm just going to edit it so that it's more like this. And the reason why I want to do that is because that way, we'll click on this. That way you can see us walk into the door and then we go out. Just otherwise, like, you just go up to the door and So we'll call that good. So I'm just going to go ahead and save that. The next thing I need to do is actually, I'm just going to make this a little bit easier, I'm just going to have it that when you go through the door, you actually go to the next level. So that's how the game works. So we're going to make a new level. So I'm just going to do File, New Scene. And we're going to do Basic, I guess. This is all different. Okay. And good. Let's just go ahead and select the camera. And I'm just going to make it a little bit lighter and brighter so that it's, whatever. And we're not going to get into it, but I just want to write victory. I'm not going to get into how to make UI. We're just going to go ahead and do it. So I'm just going to go game object, UI, whatever. Okay. And we'll just call this victory underscore text. And we'll just put victory. Okay. And it's down here really small. You can't see it. So I'm just going to change the font. Let's do like 72 for the font size. Let's center it. And also, you'll see that we can't see anymore, and that's because it's too small. So let's do like 720 by, let's say, 100. There we go. So now you can see it there. That's good. And I need to center it. So you see it's down in the bottom left. So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to hold Alt and Shift and click on there. And that will put it right in the center. Let's go ahead and also make this bold. And 72 looks kind of small. Let's do 144. And let's do 200 now for the height. There we go. Victory. Okay. And that's it. It's just going to load this level. We're not going to do anything really beyond that other than just this. Now, normally you could have another level and so on and so forth. But we're just going to call this good. And let's just go ahead and save this. I'm just going to do Control-Shift-S or Command-Shift-S or do File Save As. And go to your Scenes folder and just call this Victory Level. Okay, we'll call it like that. That's fine. Great. Now we need to do is load up the other scene. So File, we just do Open Recent Scenes, Level 1. And I'm going to go to my scenes, and I'm just going to delete this sample scene. We don't really need that. It's just annoying to have it there. Just so you're aware, you can double click on them down here as well. It's another way to navigate as opposed to going up there. It's kind of a weird way of doing it, but that's how it does. Okay, so let's go back to Assets, Scripts, and we just need to make a victory script that when we click on this, or when we run into this, it's going to open up the next level. It's going to be really similar to the death box. Okay, so just right click, create C# script, and we'll just call it victory box script. So the opposite of death box. And double click to open it up. Should open up in my Visual Studio Code. Did it? There it goes. Okay. So we don't really need any of this, so let's get rid of this top bit here. Delete. And I don't need the comment. Delete. And this is going to be a trigger. So instead of update, we're going to write on trigger, enter, 2D, and then collider, 2D, and we'll just call it COL. Okay? And then we're just going to have it do what's in here, and we're going to set up the same thing. We're just going to say, oops, if the col.tag is equal to player, because we don't want, because if you look right here, you'll see, I mean, it's already touching this, so we don't want to just like anything touches it. It's got to be the player specifically. So basically, if we hit the player, and then what I'm going to have it do is load the next level. So if you remember when we first started, I showed you this thing at the top, and I said like, oh, this is how it knows what language and what libraries we're using. Like, it knows the words that are available, such as like on trigger enter is a special thing, Collider 2D. It knows that because of this Unity engine. One of the other things that you need to do is this. In order to work with what they call the scene manager, you actually have to load it in. You think it would be in there by default, but they used to do some things differently, and every time they add something new, you have to load it in, almost like a plugin kind of a thing. So we're going to do using Unity engine dot scene management semicolon. Okay, so that's just going to load up the ability to use the scene manager. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're say, okay, if the player runs into this collider, we're going to have it go ahead and do scene manager. We're going to leverage that object, and we're going to go ahead and load a scene, and then it's going to load what's inside these parentheses. Now, we can do this any number of ways. I could literally, let's save it, leave it like this for right now. Don't save it, just because I don't want that to load up here. So what we need to do is this. If you look, we have two scenes. It will only load scenes that are loaded into the build, so we have to do that first. So I'm going to go ahead and go to File, Build Settings, and you'll see sample scene was in there. I'm just going to click on it, hit delete, and you want to add open scene. That will open our current scene. Then just close out of this. Now go to the victory scene, and again do File, where are you? Build Settings, and add open scene. Okay. Now, what you'll notice is that you can click and drag these, so if you put them in the wrong order, it's not a big deal. And you can just put a bunch of them in here. But basically, all these need to be in here in order for it to be part of the game. So all of your levels go into this little area here, okay? Now, you can load these levels based on two things. You could load them on the name, right here, or the scene index, okay? So if I go down here, back to here, if I typed in, victory scene, that would work. Then it would actually load, I think that was the name of it, right? Victory level. This will work. So for instance, you want to have a game that is not chronological, like let's say you're doing a role-playing game and you want to be able to, like, open up a town portal and go back to town. You could have it that you could have a thing that says, go to town scene and go to this scene. So if you want to go out of order, you totally can. You can also do it by this. I could, instead of writing the name, I could write 0, or I could write 1, and that is the scene index. That's the number right here, okay? We're going to do something a touch fancier, because that will only work on this one level, right? So when I get to the end, it's going to load level 1, but then if I go to, when I go to the next level, it's still going to load that level again. So I want to make it so it loads the next level in chronological order, just so it's easier, meaning that what it's going to do is it's going to load this level, and then if I was on this level, it would know the next level, and if I was on that one, it's just going to go right down the line. And it's actually a relatively simple little bit of code. So we're actually just going to leverage the scene manager again. So we're going to do scene manager dot get active scenes, meaning the scene we're in, okay? And then dot build index plus 1. So what this means is it's going to use the scene manager because it handles our scenes. Then it's going to get our currently active scene, okay? It's going to say, okay, what current scene are we in? Which in this case will be level 0 or level 01. Then it's the build index number of it. So that would mean it's going to give us the number 0. So this will equate to 0 when we're on the first level. But if we're on level 53 in the build index, this number, this will equate to 53. And then we just add 1 to it. So basically it'll say 54. And so basically this all together, if we're on 53, will end up being 54. And if we're on 7, it'll end up being 8. So we're just literally taking whatever level we're currently on and adding 1 to the build index number, and it will go to the next one. So this is great because we can use this on every single level, and it will automatically go to the next level. Now, if we, like I said before, if we want to go to a specific level, then you can make that name of that level, and that would work too. So we're just going to go ahead and save that. Control S or Command S. And let's close out of this as soon as this gets done loading. There it goes. Okay. So let's close out of this. And let's go back to level 01. And I think I did not add that script yet. So let's go here, scripts, door, and I'm going to go ahead and drop the victory script on there. And now if I play my game and we go over yonder and wait for it to... It's like slower than it used to be. Usually they try to make things faster. Okay. And we'll go over there and woo, we won the game. And that's how it works. There we go. So now we have a way to win and a way to lose, kind of. All right. So that's it. Yep. So there's victory and death.